Okay, so I've got 3 hours to spend on it today. So the plan is to just concentrate on the roof basically, because it takes a while to do this anyway. I've got to start sanding it and get it all flat, especially around these areas, around the door areas. See how that goes. But yeah, basically the plan is to get this section and, well, the whole thing really as close to smooth as I possibly can. Obviously there's going to be some bits that aren't quite perfect just yet, but that's in time, it'll be fine. But obviously I will get all this to the same level as that sort of idea basically. So that'll all be nice. Obviously that's relatively nice and smooth. Obviously this isn't at the moment, but this will be. I've got to take the line down a little bit. You can see where the line is on the spoiler there, and then it goes too high on there. So I'm not going to put any more filler in just yet until I've got that to a level where it needs to be. So I'll start on that first, and then I'll work sort of forwards from there and see how far we'll get in 3 hours. But yeah, I'll do part 2 in a second and show you what I've been up to. Okay, so 2.5 to 3 hours roughly. I've got to work on this. Not the most exciting of videos, I'm afraid, just a bit of an update really, just to let you know what I'm doing. So the general gist is I've been flattening back the roof. There is still some lumps and things in here. You can see obviously where the guide coat's been. You can see that's too high there. It dips down this side and then goes further up this side, which that's the actual line technically, and then it dips down too far. So I've got to take that down a bit around this area. But you can see where its high spots are anyway on there. But I've done some work on basically sanding all that back. I've put some filler in here, this section, over the door, just so you can see what it's going to be like and how it's going to fit. Obviously you won't be able to see the hinges underneath. It does still open, well, it will still open. It doesn't open just yet because obviously this is way too close gap wise here, but it's going to be, let's have a think here, it's going to be roughly a little bit more than that gap basically there, just to make sure it clears, and obviously so the Gullwing can go up and work fine. But you can see obviously it does need filler work down there still. It's still very rough. It's got to blend in properly rather than curve in here. It's got to obviously blend in properly along there. But that will come on the next update probably when I finish this roof off. I'm hoping to finish it on the next one anyway. So yeah, the plan is to this is on the second pass of filler now. Some of it's on the third. So this section here that was sort of done before anyway, that's on its third, I think, pass of filler, and that's basically done. That whole sort of quarter up to about this area. This section is going to have its third pass of filler. We'll finish it off on the next video, as well as other things hopefully. This is going to have its third pass, and this side is third pass. I'm obviously going to take out some bits and bobs around this front area here where it's all a bit mouldy, where the screen is going to fit back in. So yeah, there you go. One here, I may as well explain a few things because people do ask me questions every now and then. So the general gist is this steel frame here is basically where the perspex screen is going to fit to. Now then, that's not going to actually be the perspex screen that is on top here, so to speak. It's going to look like a normal windscreen. So there will be a normal glass original, well not original, but you know what I mean, original replacement Clio windscreen in there. So that will literally look normal. Sun strip across the top to hide all these bits and bobs, which obviously these will be done properly anyway, not rough like this. So yeah, that will look normal. There's just going to be a 10mm perspex screen inside there, going across sort of that section there. I've got to put something in here, I'm not entirely sure what yet, to hold it in place to make sure it doesn't flap at the bottom. But obviously the rest of the frame is all done around the other sides. The windows are the same, if you haven't sort of seen some of the other videos where it's been explained a little bit, but hopefully I can explain it a bit better. So these windows aren't going to look like that as such. There will be a bit of perspex, not 10mm, it's going to be, well, 2 or 3mm probably perspex, all around the original sort of lines of the window, so it will look like a normal kind of clear window and blend into that one at the back. And obviously there'll be rubbers on the bottom here the same, so looks like a normal kind of window even though it technically isn't. That'll all be wrapped in gloss black, so you won't see any of this stuff behind it. And then obviously there's going to be some kind of race style flap here. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to work fully yet, but I'm going to have some sort of flat there basis so you can actually open that window, but it will also look like a normal kind of track window type thing, if that makes sense. Obviously this is a thing I'm never going to hear a track in its life because it's going to be 0 to 60 in a few weeks. Probably won't even get to 60, but there you are. But yeah, that's the plan. So yeah, the next video probably next week. So I've not got many hours on this at the moment, but I will crack on with it ASAP, and we'll get the rest of the filling work done, the roof finished, and then see what I can start on the front after that and see what I can do on that.